Gwen Stefani, thank you very much for your time for today. But how long are you in the UK for,
I'm
by the
just
way?
here for like 2 seconds, and I haven't been here in almost 4 years, so it's a treat for me. I feel like I defined who I am by London in a way, because all of the music that I like, I don't know, when you're a kid and you start to like be like, who am I? And I discovered all this English music like madness, and we had the British invasion in the 80s, and it was like I wouldn't be in No Doubt. I wouldn't have done music if it wasn't for all the music that I learned about through like Camden Town and London and Madness and Selector and Specials, and it's crazy to me how much it is part of my life, you know. So being back here has been wild.
It's cold.
It's cold. It's perfect. It's Christmas.
It's,
It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
it's absolutely perfect. And I swear to you, like I've done a lot of records, but not as many as I've ever. You know, I've wanted to do more music, and I never have time to do a Christmas record. I've always wanted to do a Christmas record. I think Christmas music is one of my favorite things. And being part of Christmas this year it's been so fun, and so much funner than I even imagined it could be. Really.
I'm always intrigued where and when a Christmas songs are recorded, because Irving Berlin wrote White Christmas in warm California, and Bing Crosby recorded it in May 1942. So when did you record this album?
I started writing the record in April, and it wasn't weird at all. Like it was like kind of like the whole record was so easy and so fun, and I felt like I was in my own personal snow globe where I just like. And also, being that I'm from California, we've always had like warm Christmases. We don't have that whole white Christmas thing, which, you know, I've been able to be lucky enough to come to England and experience that. But it's interesting. Like I always wanted to, like, after I wrote my last record, which was the record to kind of like save my life. Like I didn't even expect to, like, I didn't care about sharing it with anyone, or there was the purpose of it was like I had to write it. Like I had to write that record. And through the writing of that record, it's crazy because it started out as like these awful, like horrible, heartbroken songs, angry. And then through the making of the record, I found like love and truth, and like it was like this incredible kind of exchange of like sadness to happiness and joy and love, and so that was all written in a really short amount of time, like within like 8-10 weeks.
But how did you put yourself in a Christmassy mood?
Well, that's what
in
I'm
April?
saying. My point is that through writing that record, I found this like rebirth of like confidence through songwriting, and it was so spiritual. And I think I just really wanted to keep going with that. And that's when I just wrote them. I was like, I want to make a Christmas record this year. It has to happen. And next thing I knew, I was in the studio, and I was talking to Blake, who is my boyfriend. He's a country songwriter, singer. And he was telling me I should work with this guy, Busby, who wrote that song Try by Pink. Do you know that song?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's from San Francisco. He's my age. He's like a really amazing songwriter, producer. And he kind of like is genreless. Like he'll do country, he'll do pop. He's just a great musician. So we started writing the record in April, and it was just so fun to be part of just writing joyful, fun, Christmas music. And the idea, like you said, like someone had to write those classics, like "Joy to the World." Someone wrote that. Like it's crazy. Like who writes that? Like it's so hard, you know. And so I was so in and up for like the challenge of trying to write one of those hits, because the idea of being, I think as a songwriter, to write a song that comes back every single year is like the ultimate dream, you know?
Yeah. Do Californians send Christmas cards with snow on them, with pictures of snow?
Pictures of snow.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because
you guys are so fascinated with our warm holidays.
I've never had until last year. Last year was my very first warm Christmas. I went away last year.
Yeah, and I've heard of that
gorgeous.
too. Like I always thought that was weird. Oh, we're going to Hawaii or going to a warm destination is kind of, I feel like, is weird as well. But I mean, I don't know. We do. They make it Christmassy there. We make it Christmassy there too. Okay.
But you're making it a British or a German Christmas, aren't you? Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that I go to this party every year where they actually bring snow in, because I have fancy friends. Like the head of my label does this incredible Christmas party, and they'll have reindeer there and like snow. I'm so excited. It's on December 10th. It's at Jimmy Iovines. If you want to come over, it's like an amazing party.
Is there one particular Christmas as a kid that you remember when you got that present that you always wanted? Because I remember getting a bike. bike,
Yeah.
and then just having a red ribbon around a bike, and my parents bought me a bike. It was the gift I always wanted. Was there one that sticks out for you?
For me, I remember different things. Like I can remember the Christmas where like the toys aren't doing what they used to do. Like that you're like 9, 10. Like I remember looking inside a catalog and being like, I want that baby doll like so bad. And then when I got her being like, it's just not, it doesn't give me the feeling anymore that it used to, what's going on? Like I can remember that being disappointed, like in and having that feeling. But I also remember I remember the first time where also being disappointed and getting like records for Christmas. And it was like kind of like, oh, cool. Like Anita Baker and like the Annie soundtrack and Evita and like literally not realizing the impact that that gift would have had on me, and but I do remember that. It's interesting.
The new album, You Make It Feel Like Christmas, it's a mixture of your take on some old songs and new songs as well. So how did you choose which old songs to cover?
I was
just favorites?
I was very nonchalant about it. I just done 3 seasons on The Voice in America, which is a show where we deal with a lot of covers, and I never really did a lot of covers in my career. We did It's My Life for the No Doubt song, which again is one of my favorite songs to do live, but I think that doing covers is really hard, and it's really like because I'm not a choir singer, you know what I mean? I just am in a band my whole life with guys, and like, so I wanted to pick songs that I thought I could actually sing, and just songs that I liked, you know what I mean? I didn't even think hard about it. Like now that I've done the record, like I'm like, ooh, maybe I should have because once you're in the Christmas mode, you start really hearing all these songs you haven't heard for a while. I just opened my computer, it's like,
You've done a version of Wham's Last Christmas. Mm-hmm. But you've given it that, like, doo-wop style.
Yes, and it was crazy because when I picked that song because growing up in the 80s, that was an instant Christmas classic. And even outside of Christmas, I like that song. Like, that song is just a great song. And also, I think lyrically, it's my story. Like, I so like, relate to that lyric. And I didn't even think hard about it. I was like, I'm doing that one, and when we tried to figure out the style that we were going to do the record, that was the one I was most worried about. Then I started realizing, oh my gosh, like this is actually, I have to honor this song. Like this is an important song this year. And I started kind of feeling the pressure on it. But once the band, like I said, I didn't even have anything to do with that. That was just like amazing musicians that all did their thing and came together. And like we all agreed on the style, and it came together in such a beautiful way. It reminds me a lot of that Twin Peaks. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That sound?
Yeah.
It's like very, I don't know, romantic but I'm really proud of that one because I think out of all the songs, we really flipped it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't sound anything like the original. And also that song is so incredible. Like the melody is a series of like ad libs when you really listen to it. It's really fun to learn how to sing that song.
It's the biggest selling number 2 song in this country.
It
never made number 1 because Band Aid and Do They Know It's Christmas was number 1.
Oh my God, I love
so
that
it only
song.
got to number 2, and it's the biggest selling.
Done that song. Damn it.
No, don't, because that's been done twice since the original. We had Band Aid 2, and then we had Band Aid 20 for the 20th anniversary, and you just can't capture the original. I don't think. I think that's just an unbelievably brilliant song.
It was.
It was fantastic. It
is.
sort of defined a moment in the 1980s as well.
So incredible.
Yeah. There are also some self-penned tracks that we've spoken about as well, like Christmas Eve, which you wrote whilst you were out jogging.
Yeah. My boyfriend Blake, he's from Oklahoma, which is probably for here, like you probably can't even imagine what it's like, because I couldn't imagine, and I'm an American girl. Like I come from California, which is so different from middle of America. We have so many different cultures within America, and being able to tour is one of my lifelong gifts, to go around the world and be able to see all the different cultures. I was so influenced by that, but going there, it's crazy. It's so much nature, because like our nature is the beach. Like that's all we have. We don't have parks, beautiful parks like you guys have here. It's just so different in California. But anyways, I was there and I was like, I'm going to go for an exercise, go for a little run. But he has like a high fence, they call it. And within the high fence is like all these exotic animals, like hundreds of acres.
Like a zoo.
It's like wildebeest and like I don't know what else they're called, like all kinds of deer, and they come in like they're in herds, and some of them are even like extinct that like he kind of saved, like that now they just keep making babies in there.
You're not going out with Noah.
No, I'm not going out with Noah, but kind of. But anyway, so I went for a run. And while I was running, I was like, okay, I'm going to run, but I'm also going to pray like the entire time. Like that's going to be my spiritual exercise at the same time. And as I was doing that and the animals were going by, it was very incredible. And I started thinking, if I was going to write a Christmas song, what would it be? What would I, and I just like a nerd, like start singing this song. And this whole chorus of Christmas Eve comes out, lyrics and everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to run back to the house. Like, I got to get this on my phone. Like, I was like, because, I didn't want to forget it. And it felt like a song. And then I was like, did I steal this from church? Like, this song sounds like a song. And I asked my parents over there, I asked, do you know this song? Did I steal this? They're like, no. It's just, it's so magical music, isn't it?
Yeah.
And let alone like just loving music, but then being able to be part of making it and then sharing it.
And Christmas Eve is the best day of the year. I love Christmas Eve more than I love Christmas Day.
You do?
Yes, I think it's the anticipation and of the big day, and I get all excited on Christmas Eve. I love Christmas Eve. It is the best day of the year.
I love all of it. I love the whole thing.
Every family has their own routine on Christmas Day. What will you be doing this Christmas?
Well, we do church on Christmas Eve. So, and then I go over to my sister-in-law, my brother's house, and they have this little tiny house, and we're such nerds. And my brother plays accordion, who used to be in the band with me.
Yeah.
And we sing Christmas carols. Like it's for real.
That's great.
We watch like Santa. We have like the monitor where Santa is.
We have that as well.
We all watch that, and they cook and we do that, and then we go back home and then get ready and get the kids to sleep. And then in the morning it's all at my house now, which is so weird because when I was a kid, we had such a routine and it was very strict.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was like.
But that's the thing. Have you taken that routine from when you were a kid and now introduced it to your family?
A little bit, but it's so weird when it changes. Like because my grandma was like major. Like she's like, she would do a gingerbread village in her house. I mean, it was like a church. There was all the gingerbread houses, the popcorn, like snow and trees, and it all lit up. Like, I mean, that's how big she would go. And so it's like, and then my mom would make my dress and this and that. And I think the one thing that I do that Santa did back then was, so when we would wake up in the morning, we'd go to my parents' room and there's 4 of us and we'd be like, waiting for them to wake up in the hallway, sitting there camped out, like, come on, like, making noises and like, but the when you go through the hallway, there's like an entryway into like the living room where the tree is and the presents and everything like that. And what would happen is Santa or the elves or somebody in the night would like wrapping paper the whole entryway going into the living room. So when it was time for us to go through, we would bust through the paper, and that was like a big tradition in our family. And so we do that at our house. The boys love that.
Well, the new Christmas album from Gwen Stefani is called You Make It Feel Like Christmas, and it's available to buy or download now. Gwen, thank you so much for your time today, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas.
And thank you to everyone that's ever listened to my music. I love you guys so much.